Everybody wants to be a listing agent, but do you even know how to present multiple offers? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty, and today I am going to share with you just a few tips on how to present multiple offers to your seller clients. But before we get into it, if you could do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up, like right now, like the video. That way YouTube will know that you actually like what I'm sharing with you every single week, and we can continue to grow this amazing real estate community that we have. Let's get into our topic for today. I have been there before where it looks like from the outside in that listing agents have it so clutch and so easy as opposed to buyer's agents. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do really appreciate the flexibility that being a listing agent provides. And I do, like we've talked about this, I believe that in real estate for a long-term business, you definitely have to focus on having a listing business because you list, you last. Now, I love my buyer clients, so y'all keep on shopping with your girl, especially if you're in North Dallas. I'm here for you. But love to give tips on how other real estate agents, how y'all can grow your business. And a good way to do that is to become a listing agent. But here's what most people don't talk about, especially in the market that we have been experiencing since the pandemic. It is demanding for listing agents too, because there is a huge shortage of homes, because you have so many buyers that are motivated and ready to become homeowners. It can be overwhelming with keeping up with offers, with making sure that you're keeping your sellers informed, while also giving good information to the other real estate agents. So I'm going to share with you really quickly how to handle a multiple offer situation from the listing side and just give you a couple of tips with that. So first and foremost, remember that you work for the seller. So a lot of times when a home goes to market, especially in these high interest areas, the first 2 to 3 days, your phone is ringing off the hook. You know that there's a lot of interest and there is a lot to juggle. The first and foremost thing though, like I said, is that we want to make sure that we're keeping our sellers informed, that we're helping them, that we are making this transition as seamless as possible. So the very first thing is that if I am looking at, I keep saying first thing, the next thing is that if I am looking at a home that I think will have a lot of activity, and I've already done my research with other agents that have listed in the area, I give my sellers that feedback and I make a suggestion that maybe the first couple of days that we are being listed, that they go visit grandma, that they go on a little family vacation, a little road trip, a girls' night out, whatever, because it is likely to have a lot of activity back and forth in the home. So that's one thing that I think will save a lot of heartache instead of, especially having to pack up and be in and out as appointments are being requested, because in those first few days, we do want to give as much access to the property to highly qualified buyers as possible, but we also don't want to deeply inconvenience the seller. So I always make the suggestion, that we list at a time that will be convenient for them to kind of be away from the home as much as possible for a couple of days. Now, you find yourself a lot of activity in the home. What starts happening? Agents are calling you. And I am guilty. I am one of those agents. When I'm working with the buyer, I'm calling, I'm getting any information that I can, what is the seller's motivation, anything that the agent will share with me about offers in hand and things like that. Again, I'm going to remind you here that you work for the seller. So while we do want to be professional and courteous to our colleagues in the real estate community, please don't give any information that could compromise any information that your sellers have disclosed to you. Even questions like, how many offers do you have in hand? I normally answer that by saying more than one, unless the seller has given me a specific, and I only answer that if the seller has given me permission to do so. So just make sure that that we are not violating the code of ethics, but we're answering the questions as honestly as we can, but without compromising what would be in our seller's best interest, and then we can have those conversations. Now, your seller though is your boss. So if your seller is like, hey, tell them this, tell them that, you just make sure you have that in writing that they gave you permission to do that, and then you do so. Now, when it comes to setting an offer deadline, again, I'm going to encourage you all to give your professional feedback. If the seller is choosing, if you feel like we need to set a deadline at some point, that showing stop and offer stop, a number of offers that come in or something like that, give your professional feedback. But again, you go with the seller's discretion. But we, of course, I'm just not going to say, hey, let's let it hang out here for another 2 months. We give feedback in terms of, like when help them understand that as long as we're holding offers, if we haven't negotiated or if we haven't responded, then an offer can be rescinded. And based on all of the information, you all decide when the offer notice is given, the deadline notice, and you give those notice on all your listing channels, your showing service, and things like that. Then, when you receive offers, make sure that you acknowledge the receipt of an offer, because the worst thing for a buyer's agent is to not know that their offer was received. And I would even encourage you to put in private remarks like, hey, I will acknowledge receipt. If you haven't received receipt of offer email from me, go ahead and text me, because every now and again, like it's happened to me where a buyer's email went to my spam, even though I'm checking it, or they may have gotten an old email address, or just it didn't go through. So let them know what to do to ensure that you have received the offer. And even if you just say offer received, thank you, make sure they know. Now, here's the final. When it is time to present the offers to your sellers, we know that there are lots of different parts of the contract where the highest price may not be the best offer. So I'm going to encourage you to have some sort of spreadsheet, some sort of system where you can input all of the terms of each offer. And then as you're presenting it to your client, you can let them know how each term changes their bottom line. My title company uses a system that they give to agents, and a lot of title companies have this. The system is called Palm Agent, Palm Agent, Palm Agent. Reach out to your title companies. A lot of them, this is a tool that you can use to create net sheets. This is a tool that you can use to create like buyer home mortgage calculators. And I have found it to be very helpful when I am creating net sheets for my sellers and presenting multiple offers to show them how each offer would differ. So all of these are tips that can help you when you find yourself on the listing side, so that you don't go in overwhelmed, but you can go in with a plan to get your seller the most money, but also the best deal that will actually get to the closing table. Here's the bonus, okay? Here's the bonus. When you are presenting multiple offers, make sure the top offers that your sellers are considering, after you having those conversations, before they accept anything, get that lender on the phone, right? I want to ask specific questions to the lender of the buyer who is offering on the property, making sure that they've been fully vetted, if they've offered over appraised value, have you verified finances, can you, if the agent hasn't done so already, can you provide proof of funds to show that they can pay above the appraised value as they have said they are. Just you going that extra step will ensure, right, to your seller that at least we've done our due diligence, because when you're looking at a lot of offers, it can become overwhelming. So the more due diligence that we do to help them decipher what's real from what's realer and better, if that is even a word, will make all the difference for your sellers. If you are not subscribed to my channel, yo, what are you doing with your life? Go ahead and subscribe so that we can stay connected. And speaking of staying connected, every Thursday on Instagram at Rosemary the Realtor, I go live there at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to talk about all things real estate, from mindset to sharing, just different funny things that are happening to me in the business, just to connect and encourage you. So go ahead and meet me there. Y'all, last year in 2021, your girl sold $22 million in real estate sales. Like, that still blows my mind. People want to know, how did I do it? And I'm going to tell you how. It was just applying the right habits to my business and seeing them pay off. And I want to teach you those habits. Go ahead and download it at rosemarylewis.com/freebie, and you will get a copy of my top 10 habits for successful real estate agents. Talk to you soon.